Wild Rift Patch 6.2 Summary. Aurora is now available in the game. Varus gets a rework on passive, getting additional attack speed, AD and AP every non-champion kill. Damage adjustment on skill 1 and detonating skill 2 blight stacks on champions reduces basic ability cooldown. Zeri gets a slight rework, removing the shield component on passive, but skill 1 now gets a mana refund and 50% cooldown reduction on last hits. Skill 3 gives Zeri more damage based on crit rate, and her ulti duration now increases based on hitting champions and gives increased move speed every attack while active. Ashe passive now deals more damage based on crit rate, and skill 1 stacks reduced from 6 to 4, making it easier to use. Added bonus to Jinx passive that now restores mana on kills. Misfortune deals additional damage on a 3-stack passive, and Vayne skill 2 gives less attack speed but now has Omnivamp. Tryndamere less attack speed on passive but more damage when above 100% crit rate. Ulti gets an attack speed buff. Kindred overall mark refresh cooldowns lowered. Ramos skill 2 deals increased damage and lowered cooldown on ultimate. Rakan gets more base health, lower shield cooldown on passive, and more damage on skill 1 and skill 2. For gameplay, some bushes around the river have been moved. A new objective called the Enchanted Piggy spawns at 3:30 that gives gold, XP, and summons a mini pig that takes towers. Speaking of towers, plates expire at 6 minutes instead of 7:30, but plates have less armor and MR. With these changes, Ensemble and Dragon now spawns at 6 minutes and removing the ability for Ensemble to get turret plates. In exchange, the summoner gets 250 gold when it hits a tower but only splits into one monster that gets increased stats instead of 3. For Baron, it now spawns at 11 minutes and Baron-empowered minions are a bit squishier. The first Baron buff will only last 90 seconds, but the next one will still be the standard 120 seconds. Elder Dragon now spawns at 19 minutes instead of 18, but the Elder damage buff has increased. Adjustments to the red and blue buff being empowered earlier into the game, and objective bounty for outer towers decreased. Ixtali Scorpion is now removed from the game. Next are the inner towers. It also has less armor MR and gives more gold for both the player and the team. There is also a new mechanic where the first inner tower destroyed gives additional gold. If the first outer tower is destroyed before 9 minutes, the next turret gets a 1500 HP shield. Similarly, if the first inner tower is destroyed before the 11:30 mark, the next turret gets an additional shield. This is to prevent early tower rushes. Minions are now squishier but scale harder. Nexus Shield has a new mechanic where it has a full shield no matter what happens, but now decays after the 12-minute mark and will fully disappear by the 16-minute mark. Teleport is now a summoner spell, and smite penalty is lowered from 6 minutes from 7:30, allowing junglers to tax earlier. New enchants introduced with Stridebreaker for gap closers, Gore Drinker for lifesteal, Gale Force for mobility on marksman, and adjustments to glory giving tenacity and slow. Stoneblade scales on bonus armor MR, Repulsor lowered cooldown and now has a cast time that knockbacks and stuns enemies. Proto Belt now gives magic resist reduction and increased move speed. Veil can now remove CC from currently disabled targets. Magnetron is now similar to Knothawk, and Hydra changed to deal more splash damage for the next few seconds. For the other item changes, check out my patch 6.2 major item changes video. That's it for the summary, and comment down below on what you think the most OP champion this patch will be.